Hey there, and welcome. Today, we're going to dive in and really boost our English vocabulary together. We're going to explore 20 essential words and phrases that will make your everyday conversations sound so much clearer and more powerful.
So are you ready? Because mastering these words is genuinely going to elevate the way you express your ideas, your feelings, and your actions. Let's get started.
All right, we're kicking things off with a pretty high-energy group of words. These are absolutely perfect for expressing strong opinions, navigating disagreements, and just describing conflicts with total clarity. In fact, let's see how a simple disagreement can grow using these very words.
Okay, first up is the phrasal verb tell off. This means to scold or reprimand someone because, you're not happy with what they did. It's informal, but you hear it all the time. For example, a parent might tell their child off for making a mess. It's really that direct, sharp way of showing you're not happy about something.
Now, what if someone tells you off, but it's not fair? What do? Well, you might need to assert yourself. To assert something is to state it with real confidence. You'll often hear the advice, you need to assert yourself, which just means you should express your opinions so people really listen. And the noun form of that? It's assertion.
The word swear is super interesting because it has two meanings that are almost total opposites. If an argument gets really heated, someone might swear, use curse words. But it also means to make a very serious promise, like taking an oath. The example here shows that second, more formal meaning. And a quick grammar note, the past tense is swore and the past participle is sworn.
Okay, things can get a lot more serious if you accuse someone. This is when you claim they're guilty of something wrong. The noun form is accusation. And here's a really important grammar tip. You always accuse someone of something. For instance, she was accused of stealing. It's a word you hear a lot in legal situations, but in everyday arguments too. A simple disagreement can sometimes feel like a battle of wills, right? A battle is a specific fight, usually part of a larger conflict. Here's a useful way to think about it. War is the long-term conflict, while a battle is just one of the clashes within that war. But we also use it metaphorically all the time, like a battle against disease.
And, well, if a conflict gets big enough, it can actually turn into a rebellion. That's an organized attempt to challenge authority, kind of like an uprising. A person who takes part is a rebel, and the adjective is rebellious. And on a smaller scale, a teenager who's always disobeying their parents, they could also be called rebellious.
All right, so we've talked about the outside world of conflict. Now let's switch gears and go inward. This next group of words is all about describing our emotions and our physical sensations. Pleasure. What a great word, right? It's that wonderful feeling of just pure happiness and enjoyment. It's part of a beautiful word family that includes joy and delight. And an experience that gives you pleasure, like listening to amazing music, well, you could describe that as delightful. It's such a versatile word for all those good feelings. Okay, get ready for a more dramatic word, swoon. It's a lot like faint or pass out, but here's the key difference. Swooning is caused specifically by an overwhelming emotion. You might swoon from total adoration or excitement, just like the fans in the picture when their favorite singer walks out. So let's talk about fatigue. And listen, this is so much more than just feeling a little tired. It's a deep, profound kind of exhaustion, usually after a ton of physical or mental effort. If you've just run a marathon or studied for 12 hours straight, you don't just feel tired, you feel true fatigue. Okay, this next one is a phrase you're going to hear all the time, to be into something. It just means you're really interested in or enthusiastic about it. It's a super casual and natural way to talk about your hobbies. You can be into movies, into jazz, or into activities like yoga. Okay, moving on to our third section. Here, we're going to look at words that are all about processes, movements, and results. These are our words of action and change. So, to acquire something, it basically means to get it, usually by buying it or maybe receiving it. The noun is acquisition. Now, this word is a bit more formal than just saying get or buy. For example, companies acquire other companies, and art collectors acquire rare paintings. It suggests you're getting something pretty valuable or important. When you say you tend to do something, what you're really saying is that you have a habit, or you're just naturally likely to do it. The noun form is tendency. And notice the grammar. Ten is always followed by to plus a verb. Like in the example, I tend to drink coffee. It's a nice, natural way to describe a regular behavior without being absolute and saying you always do it. Rebound. This one's cool.
Literally, it means to bounce back, kind of like a basketball bouncing off the backboard. But we use it figuratively all the time to mean recovering from some kind of setback. A company's stock can rebound, an economy can rebound, or, as you see here, a sports team can rebound from a tough loss. It's all about bouncing back.
All right, horizon. We all know this one, right? It's that beautiful, distant line where the sky seems to touch the land or the sea. From this word, we get the adjective horizontal, which means flat. But we also use horizon in this wonderful, metaphorical way. When you hear the phrase broadening your horizons, it means expanding your world by trying new things. And here we are, our final section. We're going to wrap things up with words that help us get super precise. These words are all about adding detail, defining limits, and understanding the scale of things. The word mere. This is a great little adjective, and it's all about emphasis. It highlights that something is small or unimportant. So when you say, "it was a mere scratch," you're really downplaying the injury, making it clear it wasn't a big deal at all. Or you could say, "he's a mere child," meaning he's only a child and shouldn't be expected to know more.
So this slide is perfect because it shows us a classic pair of opposites. Definite means something is certain, it's fixed, it's totally clear. If you have a definite plan, you know exactly what you're doing. But indefinite is the opposite. It's vague and uncertain. An indefinite delay, for example, means we just don't know when things will start up again.
A fragment, what is it? Well, it's just a small piece that's broken off of something bigger. Think of it like a particle or a little bit. You can have a fragment of glass from a broken window, a fragment of a conversation you overheard, or even a fragment of a memory. It's always about an incomplete piece of a bigger whole.
Particular. This is a super useful adjective that we use to mean specific. It singles one thing out from a whole group. The adverb is particularly, and the phrase in particular does the same job. So if I ask, is there a particular restaurant you want to go to? I'm asking about one specific one you might have in mind, not just any old restaurant.
Our next word is comprehensive, and it's a big one. It basically means complete, including everything you could possibly need. It's a lot like saying extensive or thorough. A comprehensive insurance plan covers everything, and a comprehensive report includes all the details. It really means something is both wide-ranging and detailed. And for our final word, recap. It's short for recapitulation, and it just means to summarize the main points. So hey, to put our new word into practice, let's do a quick recap, shall we? We covered words of communication and conflict, words of feeling and sensation, words of action and change, and finally, words of detail and scope. Now the real question is, which of these new words are you going to use today?